That's the brief that I have given them. They have a detailed term of reference. There have been so many reviews into this department that the subject matter is very readily digestible and provides a solid base for an output of a wonderful book like this. I want the First Principles Review to value add and improve, as I say, the way Defence does its very complex business. I'm very optimistic that they will come up with something that encapsulates what has gone before in the myriad of reports that many of you know about, but also shows us the way to make those recommendations actually come into reality, so that Defence, with its 57,000 uniforms and now just under 20,000 public servants, 25,000 reservists, just about 105,000 people, approximately, can actually do things much, much better, more cost effectively, and yet have an output in terms of capability, readiness, sustainability, much, much better than it has been. Lastly, let me close by saying, what have we been doing for the last 12 months? Well, it has been difficult because there has been a lot of money taken out of the portfolio. It has been really difficult. I've had the benefit of a treasurer who has been extraordinarily grumpy with my portfolio, but has actually come to the reality that we have paid quite a high price in the last few years. I've also had the support of a Prime Minister who sees the importance of national security from a defence perspective. So we've signed on for 58 Joint Strike Fighters, but we buy those every year. The contract is a yearly contract. We've got our first two, and yesterday we had our first aircraft at Fort Worth actually fly. We've, given our recent history, we've committed to go forward with broad area maritime surveillance with an unmanned platform called Triton, which of course is Global Hawk, a Northrop Grumman platform which has a jet turbine that will deal with the adiabatic and katabatic winds that we confront in aviation in Australia. We've agreed to take 8 P-8 Poseidon aircraft, which will replace our very important capability, the P-3 Orion, but there'll be a long transition because we've built our P-3 Orion up to something that is, I think, a world leader in maritime surveillance. The P-8, I was able to see the rate of effort out there in the Indian Ocean because the Americans brought 2 P-8s to the MH370 search. I was able to compare the Japanese, South Korean and Australian P-8 performance with the New Zealand P-8 performance and see the rate of effort as we did 5 hours out, 2 hours on, 5 hour back missions. And the P-8 was sensational. I was very, very pleased that I could look at the black and white numbers of that aircraft and say, wow, that 737 is a very, very risk-averse, reliable platform who has a fabulous output. We've just got to get all the equipment inside it and get all the bells and whistles working, which will take some time. We've put $78 million on the table because we've got 8 frigates we want to build in Australia. And we want to build them with a Canberra-based CEA phased array radar, which is very good with Evolved Sea Sparrow, and moving to SM2, which is a longer range surface-to-air capability, with a Saab 9LV command and control system. That $78 million will turn into 154 if the hull that we are working on now in Adelaide is good for anti-submarine warfare. So we will have 11 ships out over 2035, 2040. But if we can get it right, and of course any shipbuilding program, for those of you that understand defence industry or industry generally, is we have a green startup. It's very painful, and we're in that pain cycle right now. I just have to convince the powers that be that we need to persevere. And if we can persevere, we'll have a very, very good long-term sustainable enterprise of an industry. And I'm not one who likes to bookend programs because it means we lose capability in terms of construction, technology, skills, training, etc. And then we've got to get it back again. All of that is mentioned in passing in many of these articles. So look, let me finish by saying there's a lot happening in this portfolio, a lot on the diplomatic side. At Shangri-La, I had something like 16 bilaterals with regional defence ministers. I had a blow-by-blow description of the oil rig in the Paracel Islands from the head of the Vietnamese military. Talking to the Koreans about what's happening with refugees in North Korea. Talking to the Japanese about airspace incursions north and south. There's a lot happening out there that we know because we turn up to places like, as I say, Shangri-La, the Jakarta International Defence Dialogue. Our relationship with Indonesia, you'd be surprised to know, notwithstanding the media, was throughout all of the problems we've had in recent times very strong. Things had to happen domestically there and here, but our relationship, minister to minister particularly, was extremely strong. Panomo Yusgiantoro is a very, very good fellow, and his daughter is being educated down in Monash University in Melbourne. He's a mining engineer by profession. I'm from Western Australia. We have a lot in common, and I'm able to take him a bottle of Margaret River wine whenever I see him. So look, let me just say to all of the authors of this, as I call it, a wonderful book, congratulations. Thank you so much for putting the time, the thought, the expertise, the knowledge into producing what is, as Brendan quite rightly says, an essential piece of reading for any Defence Minister. Thank you all for doing this work. It is clearly valuable, vital work. I congratulate each one of you, and I hope it is a bestseller. It certainly deserves to be. Thank you all.